Athletes sometimes turn to performance-enhancing substances with the hope that these will improve their training results and elevate their performance in sports. Ideally, such substances should support an athlete's health while aligning with the ethical and regulatory guidelines of their sport. Most athletic organizations have established lists of banned substances to ensure fair competition and protect athletes from potential health risks. If an athlete is caught using these prohibited substances, they may face consequences like suspensions or loss of medals, and repeated violations could even result in a lifetime ban from competition. Nonetheless, many legal nutritional supplements and ergogenic aids exist and are often used to boost athletic performance. Although their effectiveness is sometimes exaggerated, it's essential for athletes to understand the legality of any substance they consider using, be aware of potential health risks, and determine if scientific evidence supports its claimed benefits. Here, strength and conditioning coaches can offer valuable information and, when necessary, guide athletes to consult nutrition specialists. An ergogenic aid generally refers to any substance or method that aims to improve athletic performance, but this chapter focuses specifically on pharmacologic aids. Athletes sometimes use non-banned supplements reputed to be ergogenic or may risk using banned substances with hopes of evading detection. This can create a competitive atmosphere where even those who would usually avoid such substances feel pressured to use them. However, athletes who are well informed can resist these pressures, avoiding ineffective or harmful products regardless of peer claims. Educating athletes about health risks and the possibility of detection can help deter them from using banned drugs. Athletes should prioritize using structured strength and conditioning programs and solid nutrition strategies tailored to improve performance. Only after these are in place should they consider supplements or ergogenic aids. Before purchasing or using any product, it is crucial for athletes to consult with qualified professionals to confirm that the product is legal and effective. This chapter covers two categories. One, hormones and drugs mimicking their effects, and two, dietary supplements. Hormones like testosterone play a crucial role in adapting to strength and conditioning training, while others, such as epinephrine, help mobilize energy during activity. The distinction between a drug and a dietary supplement is not always straightforward. For instance, caffeine, found in many common beverages, is classified as a drug. A product's classification influences whether it requires U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) approval for safety and effectiveness. If a product is not marketed as a drug or for therapeutic use, the FDA's regulation is generally less strict, allowing manufacturers to release new dietary supplements without specific approval. The FDA only steps in if a health concern arises. The FDA defines drugs as substances that change the body's structure or function, including those that stimulate hormone release. If a substance is taken in a form not typical of food, it may be classified as a drug. On the other hand, dietary supplements are typically refined products not easily mistaken for conventional foods. Although some, like carbohydrate tablets, provide nutritional benefits, they fall under the category of dietary supplements, not drugs. The FDA regulates both finished dietary supplement products and dietary ingredients under separate guidelines from those governing conventional foods and drugs. The Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, enacted in 1994, requires companies to ensure their products are safe and accurately labeled. Claims about supplements' effects on the body's structure or function must be truthful and not misleading, although these standards are less stringent than for drugs. Many sports governing bodies ban certain ergogenic substances when there's a general agreement that they may confer an unfair advantage or pose health risks, even without conclusive evidence of efficacy. The World Anti-Doping Agency is a prominent international organization regulating doping and oversees the list of banned substances for the International Olympic Committee. Countries like the US and Australia have affiliated agencies such as the US Anti-Doping Agency and the Australian Anti-Doping Agency, which enforce doping regulations within their borders. Each organization's list of banned substances may vary, and penalties also differ. It's important for athletes, coaches, strength and conditioning professionals, and support staff to understand and comply with their specific organization's regulations. In some cases, these substances are illegal not only in sports but also by law. For example, anabolic steroids are classified as a Schedule III controlled substance, meaning possession without medical justification is punishable by law. Let's look into how certain hormones, particularly testosterone and anabolic steroids, are used by athletes in the hopes of enhancing their performance. Hormones are chemical messengers produced naturally by the body, each playing a specific role in our physiology. For instance, testosterone is the primary androgen hormone that directly interacts with skeletal muscle tissue, making it crucial for muscle growth and recovery. Athletes often use testosterone and other hormones to stimulate muscle gains and enhance performance. Beyond testosterone, some athletes turn to hormones like growth hormone for its anabolic properties, while endurance athletes may use erythropoietin. This hormone, produced by the kidneys, boosts red blood cell production, which is key for aerobic endurance. Another category of hormones includes catecholamines like adrenaline, which help increase arousal and focus while also aiding in weight loss. Now, a subset of performance-enhancing substances gaining attention is anabolic steroids. These are synthetic or human-made versions of testosterone. The main attraction of anabolic steroids is their ability to increase muscle size, body mass, and strength by stimulating protein synthesis. They're not only about building muscles, but also influence male secondary sexual characteristics like body hair, a deeper voice, and increased libido, all effects stemming from testosterone's androgenic properties. This is why these substances are often referred to as anabolic androgenic steroids, highlighting their combined muscle building, anabolic, and male characteristic developing androgenic roles. Testosterone is produced mainly in the testes, although it's also present in smaller quantities in the adrenal glands for both men and women, and in the ovaries for women. Interestingly, the journey of testosterone as a supplement began in the 1930s when it was first isolated and synthesized. However, testosterone in its natural form doesn't last long in the body, it degrades rapidly. To solve this, scientists chemically modified testosterone, allowing for slower breakdown and prolonged effectiveness, which was especially important for athletes wanting sustained benefits. Today, anabolic steroids are available in various forms, most commonly oral pills, injectable solutions, and increasingly creams, gels, and skin patches. But among athletes, oral and injectable forms are still the most popular. Some common oral anabolic steroids are metandrostenolone, known as Dianabol, and oxandrolone, marketed as Anavar. Injectable forms include testosterone esters like dipotestosterone and nandrolone esters like decadurabolin. Each of these has different effects and durations, giving athletes options depending on their specific goals. A typical use pattern among athletes is known as stacking, where multiple anabolic steroids are taken simultaneously. The idea behind stacking is that combining several drugs will amplify their effects. However, there's limited research on whether stacking actually boosts effectiveness or if it simply increases the risk of side effects. Athletes often use these drugs in cycles, meaning they go through weeks or months of use followed by a break. Many even adopt a pyramid dosing approach where they start with lower doses and gradually increase them, then decrease them toward the end of the cycle. The aim here is to maximize gains while potentially reducing side effects as they taper off. To put things into perspective, one study found that the typical steroid cycle for athletes involved using around 3.1 different drugs, with a typical cycle lasting between 5 and 10 weeks. The doses athletes take are often staggering, up to 29 times greater than what would be prescribed to someone with low testosterone levels. While anabolic steroids might sound like a choice for only elite or professional athletes, their use extends beyond sports. Reports trace steroid use among athletes back to the 1950s, with the Soviet weightlifting team systematically using androgens, setting a precedent for other countries. State-sponsored use became a documented part of athletic programs, notably in the former German Democratic Republic, where athletes were given steroids as part of a secret state plan to enhance performance. In the United States, there has been widespread use in sports like powerlifting, football, and even among college athletes. The well-known 2007 Mitchell report revealed the prevalence of steroids in Major League Baseball. However, it's not just athletes seeking performance benefits. Many individuals outside of organized sports use steroids to enhance their appearance. National surveys have shown that roughly 7% of male high school seniors had used anabolic steroids, with a significant portion of users focusing on appearance rather than athletic performance. This drive for size, often accompanied by muscle dysmorphia or reverse anorexia, pushes some bodybuilders to use steroids in extreme doses, leading to health issues that have predominantly affected bodybuilders over other steroid-using athletes. So, do these substances deliver on the promise of muscle growth and performance enhancement? The answer is complex. When taken at very high doses, often beyond what's medically prescribed, anabolic steroids can indeed increase muscle mass and strength, particularly when used by trained athletes. When anabolic steroids are used in doses similar to those taken by recreationally trained athletes, they trigger muscle protein synthesis, leading to gains in lean body mass. Research and case studies reveal that some users can see substantial increases in fat-free mass and strength. One study documented an international level bodybuilder who, after a year of self-administering steroids, gained around 15 pounds of fat-free mass and significantly improved his strength. However, his health took a toll, experiencing issues like atrophic testicles, low hormone levels, and increased risk factors for heart disease. One interesting aspect of steroid use is the debate around water retention. It was once believed that the muscle mass gained was largely due to water, not actual muscle tissue. But recent studies show that anabolic steroids don't seem to increase water content in muscles significantly. Instead, the mass gain is likely due to an actual increase in muscle tissue. Early studies failed to confirm a significant effect of anabolic steroids on athletic performance, leading to skepticism. However, as research methods improved, it became clear that athletes using high doses could see strength gains 2 to 3 times greater than those seen in similarly trained non-steroid using athletes. Today, it's generally accepted that anabolic steroids, especially in supraphysiologic doses, do indeed enhance muscle mass, strength, and, by extension, athletic performance. Anabolic steroids are known not only for their physical effects, but also for their psychological impact, which can sometimes be just as profound. While many athletes may turn to steroids hoping for an edge in performance, they often encounter unexpected changes in mood and behavior that can be significant. The psychological effects of anabolic steroids have been reported to include increased aggression, heightened arousal, and irritability. For example, some East German athletes were reportedly given high doses of steroids delivered through the nasal passages, aiming to directly stimulate the central nervous system. Anecdotal reports suggest that this intensified aggressiveness, creating a perceived competitive advantage in performance. Some athletes see the boost in arousal and even aggressiveness as an asset, especially in high contact sports where an aggressive edge can be beneficial. Yet, these effects often extend beyond the playing field. Increased aggression might not remain confined to sports settings, leading to risks not only for the user but also for those around them. It's been observed that nearly 60% of steroid users report mood changes, including irritability and aggressive outbursts, sometimes even leading to mood swings and psychotic episodes. For example, one controlled study with testosterone cypionate injections revealed notable increases in aggressive behavior in some subjects after 12 weeks. Yet, not everyone responded the same way. Some subjects displayed little to no psychological changes, while others experienced prominent effects. The psychological impact of steroids is complex and appears to vary from person to person. And while a clear cause and effect link remains uncertain, what's clear is that these behavioral changes generally diminish once steroid use stops. Beyond psychological effects, the adverse physical consequences of anabolic steroid use are well documented. The risks vary based on how steroids are used, particularly when they're taken in high doses outside of medical supervision. Let's break down some of the main adverse effects that can occur across different body systems. One of the most serious risks involves cardiovascular health. Steroid use has been linked to changes in lipid profiles, elevated blood pressure, and a decline in myocardial function. These factors can collectively increase the risk of heart disease even in younger athletes who may otherwise have low cardiovascular risk. For men, steroids can lead to gynecomastia, development of breast tissue, decreased sperm count, testicular shrinkage, and even temporary infertility. Women can experience menstrual irregularities, enlargement of the clitoris, a deeper voice, and other masculinizing effects. In both men and women, libido changes and hormone imbalances are common. On the surface, steroid users often experience severe acne and can accelerate male pattern baldness. Internally, liver damage is another significant concern, especially with oral anabolic steroids, which can lead to an increased risk of liver tumors and other liver diseases. Steroids can prematurely close growth plates in young athletes, stunting growth. Additionally, while steroids can strengthen muscle tissue, they also make tendons more susceptible to tears. Intramuscular abscesses or painful lumps under the skin can also result from injections. Psychologically, in addition to mood swings and aggression, users may experience episodes of mania, depression, and hostility. These mood changes can contribute to a challenging cycle for users, affecting both their relationships and mental well-being. Some athletes may try to achieve similar effects to anabolic steroids through testosterone precursors known as prohormones. These substances, like androstenedione and DHEA, are precursors to testosterone production. The idea is that by taking these precursors, the body can produce more testosterone naturally, potentially increasing strength and muscle size. However, the reality falls short of the expectations. Prohormones generally have weak androgenic effects compared to anabolic steroids. Studies have shown that these substances don't lead to significant gains in strength or muscle mass. While they might modestly increase estrogen levels, they don't provide the performance-enhancing benefits that athletes often seek. So, despite this, prohormones like androstenedione were added to the Anabolic Steroid Control Act in 2004, making them controlled substances. So, another substance sometimes used by athletes is human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG. This hormone, typically found in the body only during pregnancy, is similar to luteinizing hormone, which stimulates testosterone production in men. Athletes coming off a cycle of anabolic steroids sometimes use HCG to kickstart their body's natural testosterone production, which is often suppressed by prolonged steroid use. While HCG can be effective in increasing testosterone production, it comes with its own risks. Administered as an injection, it can cause localized pain and swelling at the injection site, but the broader long-term effects of HCG injections in healthy individuals remain under-researched.